everybody. This is Scott Barkley. This is Jerry Rankin with Forex Traders. And we're here to just introduce you one of the most incredible tools you've ever seen. We call it the ultimate Forex tool for Forex traders. And it's an ATR tool that sits on your desktop and tells you what the currency statistically can do today. And you know, we've been using the ATR for about 5 years, and we were doing it manually. I finally said to my partner, Jerry, make us a tool, would you? So he did. Let him tell you about it.
Well, what we took was we were able to gather information about the ATRs, and first we would just kind of print them out. We'd get them on screen, we would look at them, but we decided it would be nicer if all of our traders had something on their desktop that they could pop up and watch, and that it could reside on top of the charts, and they could still do their charting and move this tool around. So it started out as a very simple tool, just feeding the data for the daily ATR, for the individual ATRs for a certain set of currencies. That group has grown to be about 21 currency pairs now. We gather a 7-day, a 14-day, a 90-day, and a 180-day, or a weekly. We have an average. Now we've added in the average. We've got an average that it shows now. You can click on it and get news. You can get options and futures, the news reports that are going to come out, the high impact announcements for the day. There's all these kinds of things that you can do right off of this little tool. So we think that we've added something that all Forex traders can use to make their day easier and to gather data and make it very effective for them.
One of the things that we figured out is if we had this tool when we first started trading, we'd have cut 2 years at least off of our learning curve. So it's a huge important tool for you to add to your arsenal, and we want to show it to you. So watch this little webinar and I'll go through it step by step, and you can see whether this tool is the tool for you.
Hey traders, this is Scott Barkley with Forex Traders, and I want to show you the most exciting product a Forex trader has ever been able to get for their own personal trading. This is the #1 tool that every Forex trader needs. All right. So the ATR, or the average true range, is used by Forex traders. We use it to assess the current volatility of a given currency pair. We watch its history over multiple time periods, and that gives us information regarding its current volatility based on actual historical statistical data. We use it to ascertain whether a currency pair can accomplish the target that we have predetermined for today. Advanced traders use it in swing trading and also for determining stops in a fundamental announcement, and also stop movement en route to the target. So if you go to Wikipedia and you try to find out what the heck is the ATR, you'll get this thing right here, and you can see this crazy calculation in order to calculate it. Okay, so I'm a non-engineering type, so for us non-engineering types, here's what it is. It is the range of a day's trading, and it's simply the high minus the low. But the true range extends it to yesterday's closing price if it was outside of today's range. So the true range is the largest of the most recent period's high minus the most recent period's low, or the absolute value of the most recent period's high minus the previous close, or the absolute value of the most recent period's low minus the previous close. So you can see why you don't want to have to figure this thing out manually. All right. So this is what the app looks like. It's a really cool little desktop app. It has many cool features, but the most important one is the ability to compare across multiple time frames. So we're comparing the statistical data for a currency. So 7-day, 14-day, 90-day, 180-day, got a weekly, and then the average. Okay. So just take that 57 pips for the Aussie Swissy. Okay, it's doing 14 pips, 57 pips day in and day out. But what's its average? It's 50 pips a day. So it's a little more volatility than it normally has. Okay. Now that would be important, because if your target was 7, 8, 10 pips further than what the ATR was, you'd be able to tell, hey, we can get there. All right. So comparing them allows us to see what the pair actually has the ability to do. This is what's it going to do today. All right. So this is very important, because every single day the market does the ATR in some form or fashion, all right? So you pick a pair and it highlights it, and now you can see on the euro pound that it does 14-day. In the 14-day, we do 60. We use the 14-day target for today because Wilder, he's the guy who invented the ATR, he said, use the 14-day. So we're not going to go against it, all right? But you can see here the average is 59 pips, so it's right there what it normally does. Now remember, this is with a half a year's worth of data. Day in, day out, you know exactly how far this currency is going to go, all right? And then you just check here and it floats on top of your charts, anybody's charts, our charts, free charts, brokers' charts, web charts, doesn't matter what charts they are. This floats on top and tells you what the currency statistically does. Why is that important? Well, the big boys use the ATR. Why do they use the ATR? Because they make the ATR. That's why they're called market makers. So this app gives us a view of the top 21 pairs and the ATR of a pair with a 7, 14, 90, and 180-day period and its average. Why is that important? Because we can know what a pair statistically moves day in and day out. We use it to determine the realistic target of a pair in a 24-hour period. ATR values start at 5 p.m. New York time, so you'll have to know exactly what that is in your part of the world. We use the different day period to tell its increase or decrease in volatility and its ability to move to our predetermined targets. And it shows us where great trades exist, high reward, and where the marginal trade is on a pair, all right? The ATR is a statistically valid piece of information for all Forex traders. We took the top 21 currencies and we compiled that data in a format that is easily used by traders with a desktop app that can float on top of all of your currency charts. All right, doesn't matter what ones you're using. Free ones from the broker, they're lousy, but you can float it on top of them. Web-based ones, Forex charts, TradeStation, eSignal, doesn't matter what you've got. All right. While the ATR does change every day, because it is an average, it is usually only 1 or 2 pips difference per day. We gather this information over the weekend for the next week, and then we pull the information multiple times during the week to make sure that we're as accurate as we possibly can be. Because the app watches 4 different time periods, a trader can be fully armed in trading to a statistically probable target every day. The ATR officially starts every day at the 5 p.m. New York time and is good for 24 hours. And so you need to know where the 5 p.m. candle is in your part of the world, New York time. All right. So here it is. You can see here that we got all the data right in here, all right? And then we also have a button here. So it's one click to the Forex, and you can find the fundies for the Forex on one click. You want to know what the option contracts are today? Yes, you do, because they expire every day in the New York session at 10 o'clock. You want to know where they are so you don't trade right into one and get whacked, all right? So that's not all. If you double click any one of these currencies, it will take you to a page that details all about that pair as well as the different brokers' current spread so you can compare it to your own broker. But that's not all. You have the ability to resize it to your screen. If you make it smaller than it is, no problem. You got a little slider here that allows you to do that. So it's pretty cool, right? So I'm going to demonstrate this for you right here real quick. And let me pull it up here, right in here. We'll just pull it right there, all right? All right, so here it is, all right? And you can see if I click on it right here, what am I going to get? Okay, so it's highlighted and I can see the 14-day on the Aussie Swissy is 64 pips and its average is 63 pips. So it's doing what it does day in and day out with 180 days. That's over half a year because there's only 5 trading days a year. Over half a year of trading, and this is what it statistically does. So you open up the chart, you know where that currency has the ability to go to today, all right? I click always on top and it's always here. It'll always float wherever I want to put it. I move it around right here, okay? So then we can go up here and we can check the fundies. I'll just simply click there, and where does it go? It takes me to Forex Factory. Make sure you put your own filter on here. In the Forex, we only care about high impact ones. It'll tell you what time they are and what currencies that this might affect, all right? I'd like to know what the options are today, so I go up here to pop the options, and it takes me over here, and I can see the option contracts where they are at 10 a.m. New York time. If you're going to trade the New York session, you need to know where these are right here. If you don't know those, you might trade right into one of these. For instance, you can see that there's 1.7 $1.7 billion here on this euro. That's a big option contract. And you can bet there will be a battle if we're anywhere near that part right there. All right. So there you go. All right. You can refresh the data anytime by just clicking it, and it'll go and check and make sure it has the latest data. If I double click any one of these currencies, let's say this CAD yen right here, I double click it and it takes me to this page here and it tells me all about the Canadian dollar, what it's been doing, blah, 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 blah. You can see up here, you can see what it's currently being, the spread is right now, right there. All right, it's got the pivot points, all this information, and any news that might affect this currency, all by double clicking right there. You can see this is a tremendous, tremendous saver in time when you're trying to get ready for the market, and there it is. All right. All right. So let me put this away for now. And oh, one more thing. Watch as I slide it. Okay, I don't want it that big. I just want it sitting up in the corner. So I just grab it on the corner like this, change it like that. All right, so maybe I'll just want to know, what is that? The CAD yen. I'm only going to trade these 4 currencies up here. I can make it real small and move it up in the corner if I want to. Pretty cool. All right, so there we go. All right, let me run back here. All right, so we'll show you how accurate it can be and why you should be able to increase your pip capture and also be able to add to a winning position by using it. What would that be worth? Well, we think it's priceless. So the question every day is, can this pair get to the target today based on where I currently am and what session I am in? So the following screenshots are all taken from live charts, all taken in the New York session. All right, they're all on the exact same day, and there are more, but I limited it to only a few because I'm just trying to illustrate it. All right, so here we go. Pound yen. All right, it does 138 pips. You can see this is the 5 o'clock candle where the arrow is right there. You take it on the top there, and you see this missed its target by only 6 pips. What if you'd have known that back here? Look at that movement you had. At 5 o'clock yesterday, every trader using the ATR knew that was the target, right? Here's another one. Euro yen, 115 pips. You can see the 5 o'clock candle is there, 115 pips to the downside, and it went to the pip, to the ATR target, to the pip. And that's, by the way, that's normal. All right. Here we have the pound dollar. All right. We have the 5 o'clock candle is here. It has a 96 pip ATR. Where did it go? 96 pips to the upside. All right. All right. Here's the euro dollar. Ooh, wonderful currency. Not. All right. 68 pip ATR. What did it do? Here's the 5 o'clock candle, went right to the ATR, right? All of these are taken the same time in the New York session. Here's the Euro Aussie, all right? We start right here, headed down, it's a 5 o'clock candle. Where did they go? To the pip right there, see that? All right, and pound Aussie, 169 pip 168 pip ATR, normally does 171 pips a day. Started up here, right there, and ended up down here. And of course, it blew through there because it's the pound Aussie. It's got a lot of volatility, so it can blow through it quite often. And there you go, right? Now, if you didn't know where this was right here, you hit the ATR, you didn't move your stop, you can see you gave a whole bunch of that back. Right? Or worse, you didn't know where the ATR was. You traded right here at this bottom, and then it flips back up on you, and you go, oh my gosh, the broker's about to stop me out again. No, the broker's not stopping you out. They're exiting their trades because they made their pips. Why? They trade the ATR every single day. So we have been using the ATR for 5 years, but we only trade it, and we only trade it in a wide open space. The ATR helps to define the statistical probability of the currency running that wide open space. Now, if the target is further, let's say we have a fib or a channel or a top or a bottom, something like that, we can check its average and see if it can make it to the further target and move our stop at the ATR when it hits that, and then hold for the further target. All right. Last year, our traders, and that's hundreds of them, pulled almost 27,000 pips out of the market, and our average pip capture per trade was 59 pips per lot. And that doesn't count add-ons, and we always add on. All right. So is your average pip capture 59 pips or more? Wow. All right. So how do we do that? We use the ATR. All right. So, now, the average retail trader only trades for a measly 5 to 8 pips. That's the statistics. A retail trader only trades for 5 to 8 pips. Why is that? They don't know where it's going. All right, so this is a strategy for failure. You must be 90% correct for the rest of your trading career if that is your average pip capture. All right, So essentially what you've done is you have stacked the deck against you. The only way you can be 90% correct for the rest of your trading career is you're the greatest trader on the planet. So let me show you. All right. So here's a contest that was done by Forex Broker a couple months back. All right. And as you can see here, they were 65%. These are all the losing accounts. All these accounts that traded it lost money. All right. They were 64% right, but because their pip capture was only 5.74 pips, all of those accounts lost. Now over here on all the winning accounts, all of these were winning accounts. They were slightly better in figuring out the market, 70%. But their pip catcher was 36.49, and every one of those accounts was a winning account. 5 to 8 pips is a losing strategy, all right? Now, the ATR is the missing component to knowing how much gas is in the tank for you to add lots today. If you don't have any gas in the tank, you're not getting to your destination. If you don't have enough ATR left in the currency, you're not getting to the destination, and you could possibly put on a really bad trade, all right? So here we go. You can see here, coming down here, this is the Aussie Swissy, has a 60 pip a day, every day, 60 pips. It normally does 60 pips right on there. Man, it's screaming down here, as you can see, but there's not enough of the ATR left. I'm going to pass, even though it looks perfect, because that's all I got left in there. All right, this is exactly what it did. A smart move. They didn't get there, and you would have given it all back, or you would have traded right there at the bottom, and you'd have lost a lot. All right? Knowing where the ATR told you don't even think about it. All right. Here's another one. 5 p.m. candle right there. There's the target right there. Right. 168 pip ATR on the British pound Aussie. All right. So it doesn't get to the target and it pulls back. Well, we didn't get to the target. That means we could trade it again. All right. So we're going to try to get to the target. We got plenty of room down there. All right. The target is hit after the pullback because the ATR was not hit on the first run at it. All right. So it becomes very simple once you know this to find the trade. Find a wide open space of 55 pips or more. Press your winners when you're inside that, and make sure you have enough of the ATR that's left when you open the charts. If you open the charts and it's done 20 pips of 100 pip ATR, it's going to do 80 pips a day. All right. If you open up the charts and it's done 80 pips of 100 pip ATR, there's only 20 pips left. You need to know this information. The number one reason traders fail is they let their losers run and they click their winners out too soon. Why? Well, obviously fear is a factor, but most of the time, since a trader typically does not know where the big boys are trying to take the currency today, what is that? The ATR, then they can't stay in for the target because they don't know the target. Studies have shown that unless the target is visual on the chart, a trader will bail at the first sign of a pullback. Does that sound familiar? Most traders trade for a measly 5 to 8 pips, and no currencies have that low in ATR. So they must be 90% correct for the rest of their trading career to be profitable. That's not possible unless you're the greatest trader on the planet. So the ATR app can dramatically increase your understanding of where the market is trying to go. That's the big boys agenda. And it'll also show you when to add and when the possibility of a pullback is done. We are now resuming to the target, and there is not enough of the ATR left to have a high reward or low risk trade. So you can try this thing free for 7 days and just see if it helps you. Or you can buy it outright for $77. That's a lifetime license and includes any upgrades we may do. Those two options are further down this page. We hope you join us. We hope that's going to make your trading so much better. Have a great day, everybody.